and welcome to this week's episode of Fun with Whole Foods. This week we're going to be making our own sausages using the sausage stuffing machine. This part moves the meat along and is a pain in the butt. So we're going to screw that on and then we're going to make up our sausage mix, if it will go on this week. If you have a mincing machine, you can mince your own pork shoulder for this. I don't. I've gone for a nice lean 5% pork mince already done. This week I'm doing a Cumberland style sausage. Traditionally that would involve coarsely minced meat, but not having my own mincer, we're going to have to go with smooth. Healthy doesn't mean bland. You can use all the herbs and spices you like. A lot of retail Cumberland sausages these days are very heavy on the pepper. Having Cumbrian heritage, that's wrong. It's so wrong. So I like to make it myself, going a lot heavier on the woody spices and the herbs. Just the way it's meant to be. So we've got in some mace, some nutmeg, we're going to do coriander and cumin, a tiny bit of cayenne, a fair amount of sage, but not too much, we're not doing Lincolnshire, and some thyme and some freshly cracked black pepper. So all herbs and spices have a whole array of health benefits as well. Sage in particular is very good for the brain health. So if you're having a bit of trouble remembering too much stuff, eat more sage. It'll do you the world of good. Cayenne, any kind of chili or pepper, is going to help boost your metabolism a little bit if you're after weight loss effects from your diet. But pretty much the best thing you can do is stay lean, stay protein, and stay mean. Some thyme. Then always freshly ground black pepper. I personally think pre-ground stuff is just dust. You get a lot more of the oils and the good elements of the pepper if you grind it fresh yourself as well. Food prep is not always the cleanest of operations. Sometimes you just have to get your hands in there and get dirty. Give it a good squish. Make sure you're evenly distributing all the spices and herbs and flavours throughout the meat. Don't want one little bite that's really hot and spicy and the rest being nasty and bland. We like flavour in our food because this is what we're going to eat for the rest of our lives. If you're building a lifestyle for yourself, it's got to be one you can stick to. Which is why it's so important to find ways that you can still enjoy your favourite foods. Not yet found a way of doing bacon, but there are several companies where you can find nitrate-free bacon to not have the really nasty preservatives we're trying to avoid. Some of those same companies do sausages, but in my experience, sausages tend to be filled with filler. If it's not wheat rusk, it's pea flour. I'm not interested in any fillers other than, or any additives to my sausages other than the herbs and spices that I'm choosing to put in. Right, it's nicely mixed together. Now we're going to stuff our sausage machine with that. Get smallish bits and just poke it on in there. And now I'm going to wash that hand because it's been dealing with raw meat and I'm about to have to touch some casings. That hand's nice and dry as well. So, when you're setting up your sausage machine, you're going to be choosing a nozzle which is the right size for the casings you've bought. I've got collagen based casings. They're relatively easy and cheap to buy online, and yeah, they're fine, they're easy to use. You just store them in a nice airtight box when you're not using them, and they'll keep for months. So, and now we're all set up. We're going to fix our sausage stuffing machine to our nice flat work surface with the joystick, which will just suck it on there. Now it's time to put on some casings and let the magic begin. So, it is very similar to when you were in sex ed classes and they were teaching you how to put on a condom. Hopefully you'll find this is slightly more willing than the teenage boy you were trying to put it on. You get different size casings depending on the size nozzle you have. So most sausage stuffing machines will come with a variety of nozzles. I've actually got 2 other sizes for mine, for smaller sausages and for chipolatas. But I only have one size of casing, so we're doing nice big fat sausages today. And although Cumberland would traditionally be done in a ring, and I remember it growing up always in a ring, you just try and get the outer bits to get the crispy bit of the sausage and to get a bigger portion. Grandma was not that good at cutting evenly. But this is just for me. A whole ring of sausage is going to be too much for a meal, so I'm going to link them like you would normal sausages. Still squeezing on the casing, just rolling it down. Right. Leave a bit of casing hanging loose off the edge. Just snip. Put your leftovers back into your airtight box and reseal, and they'll be ready and good to go for the next time you want to make some sausages. So it's a fairly simple operation. I'm going to just hold the top of the casing, but not too tightly because there's air in front of the meat that's going to come out before the meat, and you don't want too much air inside your sausage. So I'm just going to turn the handle round and round, and that plate we saw earlier is going to push up against the meat. You can see it's starting to come through the nozzle, and it's starting to come into my sausage. So I'm going to hold that a bit more tightly, and as I'm holding the casing onto the nozzle with one hand while I'm guiding it with the other so that the meat can fill in and expand in the collagen casing. The casing will expand slightly, so you want to try and keep it even as it's coming off, because as it gets wet the collagen expands. So you do roughly a sausage length, and then make this nice little twist, fold it over, and you can start on your next sausage. And give it a twist, fold it over. I didn't twist that one quite so well. I'll start on the next one. Give it a twist. There you go, that's a bit of twist. Come on to the next link. Okay, I need to move my machine a bit. So it wasn't quite close enough to the edge of the table and it's got stuck. Okay, and give it a twist. Spin. Go for the last one. And there we have our own homemade sausages. Beautiful, 100% whole foods, healthy and preservative free. They'll stay good in the fridge for a couple of days. If you're going to keep them around much longer than that, I suggest freezing them or cooking them before you keep them for 3 or 4 more days. Thanks, and we'll see you next week.